Hello, YouTubers. Hey, this past week, Hurricane Dorian has prompted a lot of goofy comments out there in the media and around the country, around the world. Some of the most stupid things I've heard is that, Hurricane Dorian was caused by President Trump. Um, it was caused by, cow farts. It was caused by climate change. And it's no wonder when 97% of these liberal professors in these universities who are getting these federal dollars to propagate this climate change myth are espousing this nonsense. I did run across an article in the Orlando Journal or Sentinel, the Orlando Sentinel. The name of the article was, let me find it here. The name of that article was Shocking News. Hurricane Dorian wasn't caused by climate change. And it just gives some links to some great research, some research that dates back, thousands of years. There have always been hurricanes. But, it doesn't stop idiots from running their mouths. Chuck Todd, journalist, so-called, made the statement, we're not going to give time to climate deniers. The science is settled, even if political opinion is not. Well, this article goes on to say, make some humorous comments about former President Barack Obama. He and his wife just spent $15 million on a house on the beach in Martha's Vineyard. $15 million for a house on a beach that he said during his presidency that global warming is going to cause the oceans to rise and beaches to be destroyed. Well, really, did he really believe that? I doubt it. Obviously not. He wouldn't have bought a house where he bought it. Now, where in the world is the media with that kind of hypocrisy? Why aren't they drawing attention to him? Now, they're too busy. They're too busy with their Trump tirades, Trump delusion syndrome, But look, here's what I've just got to say about that. I'm a Christian. I hold a biblical worldview. I believe that the earth had an origin and it began with a creator. In Genesis, it tells us blow by blow what happened. It also tells us in the 3rd chapter of Genesis that the first human beings, Adam and Eve, sinned. When they sinned, a whole cascade of events began to happen regarding human beings and creation itself. The Apostle Paul said in Romans chapter 7, verse 22, "For we know that the whole creation groaneth and travaileth in pain together until now." We live in a world where calamities happen, storms happen, accidents happen, disease comes, and it's the natural result of man saying no to God. And we don't need you in our life, and we're going to launch out on the seas without you. And it has not been a good experience ever since the garden. And I don't believe that the poor folks in the Bahamas were under the direct judgment of God. No, they happened to be in the path of a storm that naturally occurred in a chaotic world. And it's unfortunate what has happened to them. But it wasn't Trump's fault. It wasn't a cow's fault. It was the fault of the fact that we live in a fallen world. And bad things will continue to happen. And, you're not going to be able to blame a president for it. And, good for Barack. I like the beach too. And guess what? His house is perfectly safe there on that beach. And even for the next 12 years, his house will still be there on the beach. And it's just enough. Enough of the nonsense. We need some sane views on what's going on in our world today. We need to be in prayer for the victims in the Bahamas and other places in the path of this destructive storm. but enough of the silliness, enough of politicizing natural disasters, enough of making up science so that it'll fit your political agenda, because that's all that's going on. And that's about all I've got. I just felt compelled to make a video about this subject, and it's certainly timely. But that's my theory on the origin of bad things happening in our world. And again, I'll close this video by simply saying thanks for watching and thanks for listening. And if you liked it, give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks again.